So it happened. It happened. We saw the April Fool's jokes, which weren't funny, and now not but 3 days later, what was once an April Fool's joke is now real. Woj reporting that Julius Randle, who has been nursing the shoulder injury, is officially going to be out for the remainder of the season. He's getting surgery on the shoulder to get better and be ready for next year. So what does that mean, man? There's a lot of questions now that are going to be raised. I'm not gonna say be answered because I don't know what the answers are gonna be. We know that the Knicks right now are on a very unfortunate slide of games right now. We've lost 3 straight, very close, very winnable games. And we've seen in that stretch of games, the Knicks have slid down to the 5th seed when our hopes of a possible us stealing the 2nd were slowly fading away. And now with Julius Randle with this news, is this the beginning of an avalanche? Are we gonna see other guys who have been out stay out now with Julius Randle, our other captain, other than Jalen Brunson, being out? Let's talk about it. Run the intro. What's going on, CK Crew? It's your boy CK2K, and welcome back to another video. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Don't forget to like this video. We're gonna keep this one shortish because we gotta talk about the news with Julius Randle. Yes, I said it at the top, I will say it again. It's out. We've heard the rumors, we've heard the possibilities, we've heard the updates, but it is official. Julius Randle will be out for the remainder of the season as he is going to get surgery on the shoulder that he injured against the Miami Heat a few months back. You know, we've been playing the game for the last month or 2 or 3 months ago of, you know, once we get our guys back, then we're going to be able to make that push. But as it got closer and closer to the playoffs, it was starting to become worrisome, if you will. We were wondering, like, even if Randle comes back, what percentage would he be back at? We were hearing the rumors that Randle is physically fit and ready to play, but he's having a hard time putting any pressure or applying any contact to the injured shoulder, and it's a matter of whenever he's able to do that, he would be returning. And then last week we were hearing the rumors that he would be potentially having to face a surgery to repair the shoulder. And here we are, April 4th, 2024. The news and the report is out that Randle will officially be getting surgery.
Randle, as you know, had been trying to rehab for the past 2 months and get back on the court with this Knicks team, but it was determined that the stability of their shoulder couldn't get to a place where he would be effective on the court and safe on the court. It would have been a big risk for him to get back out there. He could have dislocated the shoulder again, and there was also a fear that maybe he does permanent damage to that shoulder if he comes back and plays with the way things were.
So my first question then is, what does that mean for the state of the Knicks? I mean, we've already slid down to the 5th seed. There's never any thought in my mind before you guys get there. It's no thought in my mind about the Knicks needing to give it up, mail it in, and start over next year. I'm not saying that. But then there's a question of what is next for the remaining injured guys. OG Anunoby, we know he's been going back and forth with the elbow injury, saying that it's uncomfortable for him to play through. He had more inflammation in the elbow, and it was uncomfortable, and this, that, and the third. But now with this news, does OG attempt to come back and we make a run at the playoffs without Randle, or is the news going to stem in him now missing some time because, you know, they want to all run it back, even though he has a contract that needs to be signed at the end of the season? That is a conversation for another video as far as the numbers and the rumors and the speculation for what kind of contract he's going to be asking for.
And now the Knicks wait to hear on OG Anunoby and the medical people involved there taking a conservative approach with Anunoby. I don't know if he has been cleared to do everything yet. Once he gets cleared to do everything, I'm told he has to still get through several hurdles before being cleared to get back on the court.
And Mitchell Robinson, been in and out of the rotation, but it's good to see him trying to get things back together with the ankle. But like I said, man, it's a question now of what the training staff is going to do going forward with the Knicks. What is Tom Thibodeau going to do going forward with the Knicks? Are we still all steams ahead at us making a run at this playoff thing? Because, you know, we've still shown and surprised a lot of NBA teams with the injuries we've had. We were still able to beat some top tier teams, if not fight some top tier teams with the injuries we've had. We've almost nerfed ourselves and still were able to withstand some of the best that the NBA has thrown at us. Remember the West Coast swing? We've done a good job against those guys here in the last few months. But yeah, man, there's a lot that's going to unravel from this injury. Randle being out, you know, I don't think it's going to be anything too serious going forward. I think that with the timing of this, getting the surgery and getting back in the swing of things, and, you know, hopefully being good by training camp and being able to start it all over for him next season, it shouldn't be any holdup. I think that's the whole point of him getting the surgery now, so it doesn't affect him being out next year. But it's just a question of what the Knicks do. And then the remaining question that's on a lot of Knicks fans' minds, and I'm not afraid to bring it up, is this going to be the constant theme for the Knicks season in and out? The Knicks have a great run in the regular season, overachieve, play too many minutes, do all these things, and then start to fall apart right before the playoffs when it actually really matters. I mean, we can have this argument all day and all night about the minutes being too much and being the reason why these players are getting hurt. I know that's a lot of other people's prerogative, but at the same time, you know, when we could be resting guys, or we could be giving less minutes for guys so we don't run a risk of injury happening, you know, there's an argument there. I'm not going to fight that. I mean, in that Miami Heat game alone, you know, I'm just going to leave it at that. So there's that conversation now. Is this just going to be the story of the Knicks? You know, we have these great seasons. We have all this hope. We do all these right things. But right around playoff time, when it matters, we start to lose the guys that we are going to need to do any damage in the playoffs. Is there something there? I'm going to leave that conversation for y'all. But there's a bit of a coincidence for the mere fact of the injuries that have taken place for the players that we have. I mean, we can make the argument for like a Mitchell Robinson and Brunson with the you know, with the ankles and stuff like that, and, you know, them playing when they shouldn't have been playing at the time. But for Randle and the shoulder, that's just Bam Adebayo being his clumsy self, and we saw that happen. And with OG Anunoby, he's had the elbow inflammation for a while, leading to the floating bone that had to get surgically taken out or whatever. So those things, you know, were freak injuries, freak accidents. But it's also about the management of these players. And I think that's where a lot of people are not just pointing at Tibbs, but pointing at the training staff and how they've been handling these injuries. There's a lot of conversations, I'm sure, that's going to be carried out past the season, past playoffs. But now we got a lot of work to do. Now we know a lot more now than we did a few weeks ago at what our roster is going to be. I mean, there was always that hypothetical of this being our roster with the hopes that OG comes back, but we weren't sure about Randle, and now we know. What says y'all, man? I look, I've raised all the questions. I have all the thoughts, and I've said my piece, but what do you guys think? Do you guys think there's a correlation between us trying too hard, running 9-man rotations throughout the entire season, and us breaking down as the season goes on? Do you think it's a freak accident? Do you think that it's all a coincidence? Or, you know, what are your thoughts about that part? As far as Julius Randle, what's your thoughts on us still attempting to make a run in the playoffs? Do you think there's no point? Do you think that we're running a risk of further injury with a team that's obviously not ready and not good enough to compete? Is that your thought process? Let me know everything you're thinking in the comments below. I'm really curious to know what the Knicks Nation is on about with this recent news. But you guys know the vibes. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Don't forget to like this video. We will be live tonight for a play-by-play for Knicks versus Kings, so I'll definitely see you guys then, and we can talk more about this as more news comes about. But it's been your boy CK. I'll see you on the next one. Let's get it. I don't know, man. It's gonna be an interesting run. I still feel like we're still a pretty top tier team in the East, so we can still hold it up. But it's gonna be a lot tougher without number 30. What do you guys think? I'm out.